Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. Let's see if we can do this right now. Get your pop out first. There we go.
Pop out and then that. That's
Yeah.
right. Hello, everybody.
Cover all that up so we
It
don't
is
take
Danny
it
and Wanda
down.
from Deep South
All
Homestead.
right. Miss Wanda's learning good here.
Dang it, what did I just
Wanda, what did you
do?
do? I spoke too
No.
soon.
I messed something up.
Restore this before you do anything. And
Hold on,
start
y'all.
all over. There you go.
Okay, I was doing good till I clicked something I wasn't supposed to. I'm getting there.
Now, just get that
Okay,
thing up out of the way.
that's what we need. I better.
I suppose.
High Tunnel is going to be delivered on Monday. Jeff, thank
All right,
you.
Jeff.
We
Thanks
were
for the
just thinking,
update. We
I
were
got
just
on
talking
the
about that.
Grower Solution t-shirt, and y'all, if y'all didn't hit it, y'all missed a good sale. It went off on the 7th.
Yep.
What's today, the 8th or 9th?
Today's the 10th.
10th. Y'all missed the Grower Solution sale. Hey, Farm All
Oh,
Fanatic.
Fanatic. Hey.
And Jeff was the winner of the greenhouse that we gave away, or the high tunnel. And well, it's not even a high tunnel; it's a regular tunnel.
Alabama Gardner says she's got her tie-dye on too.
Good, we match. And so Jeff won, and y'all, he's getting it Monday, so that's really good. And I know lots of yeah, lots of people are. You're wearing Ed's t-shirt.
Yeah, Ed's wearing the Edge t-shirt tonight.
Yeah, he come in. He says, "I guess I'm gonna put on my Believe in Jesus T-shirt because
Yep.
he swaps. He wears this one off and on, but he don't always get on YouTube when
I
he's
don't
got
always
on.
get on YouTube with it, but I wear it on and off because I believe in Jesus, the Second Amendment, and fried fish.
We
We're just talking about fishing today.
Yeah, Jesse and Patty were here all day today, and that's my son and his wife, and we were talking about having a big fish day where we just all go fishing and
We got so many fish. We've got to start. If we don't do nothing, but just catch them out and throw them out on the bank. I mean, we got so many.
we ain't throwing them on the
We
bank.
gotta.
We're gonna be eating fish.
Yo, I know we're gonna be eating fish, but I mean, we just got to start catching them.
Yeah. Um, we intended to have people come and catch them, the kids off and on, and their visits are, every couple of months or so, every 3 months. So they're not catching that many fish. So we just got to have an all day fishing tournament with the kids. I think that would
Yeah,
be fun.
we're
Especially,
gonna have to.
I think they would get a kick out of that. So I see a lot of people popping in. I can't read all the names because it goes. Um,
Oh no, Gene.
what?
Put in a new crankshaft and a rope seal, cranked it up and leaking so much for Green Acres. Oh, it's always, look, I've been a mechanic. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Thank you, Reap What You Sow Garden. They say we are the best. One and a whole bunch of zeros percent. I don't know how many zeros that is, but that's a lot.
Oh, the rooster says, love your farm all. We just rebuilt a 1954 MTA. All right.
Pop Tart gone trucking.
Checking in. This girl's Miami, Florida.
Yeah, Pop Tart gone trucking. That was kind of gotta be busy.
Yep. Hey, Grizz, good to see you in. Lou just Lou and
I saw Miss
ABCXYZ.
I
Fish
saw
day with a big fish fry at the end of the whole day would be awesome. Yes.
yes. Did y'all cut the orange cake?
Yes, we did, but we cut it at a friend's house, Mr. Barrett and his wife and him. And the funniest thing, we were talking about how healthy that cake was because it was made with the ancient grains and stuff like that. Fresh squeezed orange juice in it, or satsuma. I don't remember which one it was.
A little of
I
both.
think it was a little of both. We was all sitting around, and Barrett's son, I believe it was Bryce.
Yeah, it was Bryce.
It was Bryce. He says, "Man," he said, "after we get this cake, it's so healthy." He says, "I'm about to go down a Mountain Dew."
It was really good.
It was good.
The only thing I could have done different was to have mixed some more orange juice and cream, powdered sugar together and poured more on it. I should have stuck the knife further because it only went about this far into the cake and then it soaked in the bottom some, so there was a part
There's
in
a
the
little
middle.
spot right in the middle.
But
Well, what you should have done was punch bigger holes
yeah,
all the
bigger
way
holes.
through it. Yeah.
Because I just poked little holes in it and I was trying not to mess my cake up, but it was good. And I cut what I brought home. I cut up in pieces, put in the freezer so that I don't have to make another one between now and Christmas. And then I have some cake, and I left Mr. Barrett and his family some. And Mr. Barrett showed up today with some apples.
Yeah, we got some apples today.
He went on a little trip, and when he come back, we asked him could he pick us up some apples, and he did.
This thing is so
What
far.
are you trying to do?
This is too far over.
Okay, let me move it then.
Okay, hold on. Right there, because
I
somebody
see.
asked a question back here.
What's good to put?
What's good to put down between garden rows to keep weeds at bay? Over on Grower Solutions, you will find a ground cover that goes down between rows. It's got little white lines on it. You can get it in 3 foot wide, 4 foot wide, 6 foot wide. I think you can get it up to 12 feet wide. So that's what we use. And then when you do, get the long garden staples. Get the 8-inch ones. Don't get these little 4-inch ones or something like that. Is a 6 or 8-inch? I forgot now.
I don't know, but
they're 6-inch.
About this long.
Yeah, get the real long ones. And if you don't want them to rust, get the galvanized ones. So make sure you.
If you don't get galvanized, you're gonna have a rusty staple trying to pull it out. Just saying.
We know from experience.
We got videos somewhere on all that.
Yes.
How's Miss Lippy doing? She's right there in the chat, and she's getting better. And she's got up some new stuff on Miss Lippy's website. She can type, Lippy, put in your site that they can go to, Miss Lippy's Bayou Blends. She's got her blend. She's got her lip balm. What else did I tell you? Comfrey salve or no?
Oh, you didn't tell me nothing.
Calendula salve, I think. I don't know. Anyway, she can pop it up right quick.
Randy, how are your cabbages doing? Oh, them things are rocking and rolling right now, and it's kind of bothering me because it's been so warm. But they're growing. I mean, I can't complain.
Tommy said he planted Danvers carrots today in a raised bed. Do you think I waited too late?
Well, it really depends on where you live at.
It's still hot here, so
it's still hot here. It wouldn't be no big problem, but if you live up north, it could be a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you keep your rabbit fertilizer for next year? I take my big old mineral tubs that my cows' minerals come in, and when we empty them, I put one in the barn, and I just empty the rabbit poop in it every day till it gets full to the top. And then I'll take it out and I'll run it through a screen into the wheelbarrow and take all the trash out of it that's in it, and the hair and stuff like that. And then I put it back into the tub, put a lid on it, and just let it dry. Or either I leave the lid off of it, I'm sorry, because I made the mistake of putting the lid on it and it molded.
Yeah. All right. Let me see. Do we have issues with dollar weed, and how do you control it?
No, we don't have any problems with dollar weed.
Damaged trunk on a peach tree. How do you treat gummy sap oozing from the trunk?
When you have gummy sap oozing from the trunk of a peach tree, you have peach tree borers in it. You've either got to spray it with a chemical. Well, that's the best thing to do. Just go ahead and spray it because you got those peach tree borers in it. They will kill your tree. I'm going to tell you, they will die.
All right. Did you get those beautiful blueberry bushes trimmed?
Yes, we trimmed the blueberry bushes. It was yesterday I did. Yesterday I got them all trimmed. Well, I will sadly say that because of the drought, we lost a lot of our big blueberry bushes, and there's only sprouts left coming from the ground. So some of them will take another year or two to come back. But the heat this summer really did take some of the big bushes out.
All right. JT West says, Miss Wanda, would you use old ball glass top jars in pressure canner? You talking about the ones that have the glass that fits on top and you use the seal? I've never used any of those except for decorations and putting stuff in, like in the cabinets. I've never canned in those, so I wouldn't know. I don't know because they weren't made for. Well, no. There were pressure canners in. That's why they had them. But I don't know. I wouldn't try it, but I don't know. You know, you might try one if you want and see how it goes. But I really don't know on those. I haven't tried those.
The rooster says, I guess he's saying neem oil, but he's got lean. Probably neem oil for the peach trees. You need to spray the trees in the wintertime with a good dormant oil, I'll say that. But the peach tree borers, there's a lot of ways. People say you can run a little tiny wire up in the hole and stick the borer and kill him, but I lost a peach tree this past year to them, so it's kind of hard.
Does your fish spawn and reproduce?
Oh, badonk, we got hundreds of thousands of small fish in our pond right now
That's why somebody got to catch some.
because it's been so warm. We've been in the 80s. Because it's so warm, we got little old fish this long by the hundreds of thousands. And I think it's probably brim, to be honest with you.
We grow huckleberries.
Oh, yeah, we got huckleberries everywhere.
I pick huckleberries every year and freeze them so I have them to go in oatmeal.
How do I like my Kubota 2501? It has been the best tractor I've had. It does anything I need to do. And it doesn't have a computer system that runs off and don't have all this regen system and all that kind of stuff. It's just got an ECM on it. I love it.
All right, it says, if the heat took out my blackberry bush, if I cut it back, would it come back or just transplant it?
Well, it depends on how if it killed it to the ground. I mean, that's hard for me to answer that one. I mean, if it didn't kill it to the ground, it'll come back. But if it killed it all the way in the ground, you're going to have to replant it.
Okay, I'm just reading to see if there's any more questions, kind of. All right.
Lots of people say the
They
heat
love
got their
huckleberries.
strawberry plants this year, died from the heat.
Huckleberries is something that grows mainly, like she said, in Montana, way up there, or it grows way down here. There are a few
There's huckleberries all over the whole United
different
States.
types.
Yep.
Okay.
You got low bush, high bush, and all that. Susie Q goes, 80s? Yes. We've been in the 80s.
Yeah, pretty hot.
It's been hot.
Have you ever heard the 15-minute cities? No.
Have I ever heard the 15-minute cities? No.
I don't guess.
Read what you sow gardening. Kubota versus Farmall. I love the Kubota because it's a four-wheel drive. I got forks on it. I got a tiller on the back of it. I have all the stuff to get everything ready. But when it comes to doing the actual plowing and gardening, you cannot beat the Farmall.
What's your favorite Christmas movie?
My favorite Christmas movie? Probably Home Alone.
I was gonna say Home Alone.
It's got to be Home Alone. We haven't watched a movie in years, but I mean, if I had to say, my favorite one for Christmas would be Home Alone or The Christmas Story.
Yeah, growing up, we always watched like Snoopy's Christmas. It's not really movies, but little shows. We always watched Snoopy and Rudolph and Frosty and all those things, but I think Home Alone just kind of topped everything because I like comedies and it was kind of funny.
Do you think old Alabama's okra squash canning method would work for canning cabbage?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Snoopy has a recipe for cabbage that Mr. Buddy likes, and I'm going to try it if we get some cabbages full grown and see. So I think it's kind of similar.
Emily, only popcorn can be used for popcorn, not any other corn, just popcorn.
What did we have for supper?
I had beef, carrots, green beans, homemade crackling cornbread, cranberry sauce.
Homemade cranberry sauce.
Homemade cranberry. Everything's homemade.
I didn't grow the cranberries.
We didn't grow the cranberries, but everything was homemade.
Okay. Let's see. A lot of people like It's a Wonderful Life. Y'all know I grew up, I never watched It's a Wonderful Life until, gosh, I probably didn't watch that movie till I was in my late 40s, early 50s. For whatever reason, when we were growing up, you had 3 channels, and it was always on one of the channels we didn't get. So I never watched it. We only watched things that come on NBC. That was all we ever watched. We couldn't get the other channel. So NBC was the only things I saw.
Richard wants to know, what should I pay for a non-running 285? I believe International 285. Anything that's non-running, I don't give over $1,000 for it. If it's not running, I just don't pay over $1,000 for it. I mean, that's just my rule, and I don't know how good of a rule it is, but that's me.
All right. Let's.
I like the Walton's Homecoming Christmas. I
Oh yeah,
forgot
I
about
thought
that one.
that was a good video.
Yeah, that's a pretty
Um,
good video.
White Christmas. Is it? They put Ben Crosby, but was it Bing Crosby?
Yeah, White Christmas was
They said
Jimmy
Ben.
Stewart was.
Ben Crosby.
Which one was Jimmy Stewart? Was the
James Stewart? Yeah.
Yeah, I call it Jimmy, but James Stewart.
It's a Wonderful Life. Did you ever get the 410s you were looking for?
I've gotten some of them, CB. As a matter of fact, that brings up a good thing here. We want to say thank you because me and Wanda.
I don't know who sent stuff. No,
This
that's
one.
my candy corn.
I
I don't know.
asked you out a while ago what you did with the paper.
You said it was on there, and I thought
I said I told you it was on the porch, and
you may have to go look at the name.
be back in just a minute.
Read these while you're gone. All right, Dana sent me some candy corn this week, and I did not have the Fun Chetty candy corn that she sent, but I did have some apple cinnamon. And if y'all hadn't seen, Wanda's got a collection of candy corn, like 30-something varieties. I'm almost up to 40 varieties. All right, this card came from Bread and Barter on Freesteading. Her name is Patty, and she sent me some seeds to a crazy pepper that she has that's sweet. It looks like a red hot pepper, but it's sweet pepper, so I'm going to try it. This one came from Miss Sally, and Miss Sally's the one that did the jar quilt that we had behind us for a while. Thank you, Miss Sally. This is from Amy and Dean. This one is from, let me look and see, Miss Deborah, right here.
I want to say thank you to Thomas Moffett. I got a little small box from them that had a wonderful gift in it. I just want to make sure I got the name right on it, but thank you so much for the gift that you sent.
And this one is from Donna. I'm almost through. Couple more. This one is from Barbara and Jeremy. And I'm going to take these cards over to the cabin.
I go to the cabin, yeah.
Miss Jocelyn on this one. I need a card holder over there, I guess. I think that's all of them after this one.
Yeah, after this one, that's it, yeah.
This is a Winnie the Pooh from Fran, Georgia gal. And Winnie the Pooh's one of my favorites now, y'all. Anytime Winnie Pooh's on anything, I just kind of like that. Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye. Yes, yeah. That's it. I used to like to watch movies with Danny Kaye in it, didn't you?
Rooster says you got a Farm All C in 1949. It's starting to knock. It's time for a rebuild. Yep. Definitely time for a rebuild. The thing about those are you can buy the complete crankshaft bearing kits and everything for them. Really reasonable. It's not really bad.
Yeah. I haven't done a final video over at the cabin. I thought I had some of the stuff shot, and I don't know if I did or not, but I did. Over on Crazy Days, I'm doing some of the decorations and stuff, and just some fun stuff. And so I did do one video this week, and we've just been busy. Things just keep popping around here, and next week's going to be another popping.
Yeah, next week's a real busy week. Hutch says, do you still use your Harvest Right freeze dryer, and how much do you use it? Thinking about getting one and want your updated opinion on it. We use ours real regular.
At least once a week, maybe a couple of times.
A couple of times a week.
Sometimes.
And look, I'm going to tell you what, there's some things that are like 100 times better coming out of a freeze dryer than they are fresh.
And persimmons is one of them.
Yes, persimmons is a big time one. Apples, I mean.
Apples is good, but persimmons, when you eat them fresh, they're good.
Yeah.
But they still kind of astringent. They can be, but I sliced the ones that were firm and I put them in there, and I just took out a batch yesterday or day before yesterday. Mr. Barrett had brought me a few extras, and I sliced those up and put them in the freeze dryer, took them out, and Danny ate a couple of them. And he's like,
Yeah,
man.
they are good. Along with cantaloupe is the next best one.
Oh, cantaloupe. I don't even like cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe
is awesome.
Awesome.
And then watermelon's good. I took the persimmon and pureed some, put in there, and was really good. What else is good in there? We've done eggs. Eggs is really good if you're in a bind and your chickens quit laying.
Yeah.
To have the eggs
to
already
have the
done.
eggs already done. Now you can scramble them, or you can pre-cook them. You can do either way.
You could go ahead and scramble them and then freeze dry them, or you can do them raw, and then just make sure you put on the package what you did. You don't want to just, yeah. Would I put orange cake in the freeze dryer? No. We'll just eat it.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna last that long.
Have you ever grown fava beans, or is it worth it? We really don't grow anything like that here, because right now in the situation this country's in, we only grow what we know we're going to eat. We're about through with all of our experimenting. We're basically down now to just doing what works.
Okay, somebody asked a good question. How long has your freeze dryer lasted? Some people say that they break down quickly. Mine, we've had it this like February or March will be the 3rd year. I know we've used it 2 years solid.
We've used it 2 years solid.
So this 2 solid years. I've not had any issues till last week, one day, and I think it might have had something in the valve that you turn it off and on to keep the water from flowing. It wouldn't pull a pressure, and so we turned it all off and checked that and made sure and booted it all up, and it's worked since. So I think it might have been a piece of trash in mine, but 2 years, and mine's still doing good.
What's the difference between dehydrated and freeze-dried eggs? When you dehydrate something, you just basically
difference, but
well, I mean,
it is a big difference.
It is a huge difference. I mean, when you dehydrate something, it kind of still has like a leathery texture to it. But when you freeze dry something and you put them in a pack, you can actually crush it up and make a powder out of it, which you can't hardly do that with dehydrated unless you put it in a blender and all that, and then it's just still not the same.
Jesus, yes, you could separate the egg whites from the egg yolks and freeze dry them, and just when you take out the egg whites, I would try it. I hadn't thought of it, but it was a good idea if you wanted to make meringues.
Double A says, have you been enjoying the fireplace over at the cabin and the festive decorations? Well, not really, because it's been in the 80s.
We've been enjoying looking at it.
We've been enjoying looking at it, and we've been enjoying looking at the decorations and everything.
We were over there today for a few hours.
No fires, believe me. It has been so hot. It's just, it don't even feel like Christmas time. It don't even feel like winter here.
Giggles' mama said that her daughter's been isolated in her bedroom since Thanksgiving because of COVID. She tested negative. She's coming out. She said just pray. She needs prayers for strength. She's weak. Freeze dried gets rid of 99% of hydration.
Yes. Plus, freeze drying preserves most of the nutrients in it, where dehydration takes most of the nutrients out of something.
Yeah, and the taste is 100% better freeze dried than dehydrated. I got rid of my freeze dryer. I mean my dehydrated.
We got rid of both of our dehydrators.
My daughter's coming to get the second one because I don't use them.
Danny, can I use 10-10-10 fertilizer on my blueberry bushes? If so, when and how much? The bushes are 5 years old. Yes, you can use 10-10-10 on them in the spring. Once you see the new growth coming out on them, I actually use ammonium sulfate, but you have to be really, really careful because ammonia will burn them up and kill them. You just got to be very sparingly with it, but you can also use the 10-10-10 if you want to.
All right. What do you think of the white flesh sweet potatoes? It's her first time growing and tasting them. She likes the texture and taste. Now, Danny likes the
I
white
love the
ones.
white ones. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love the white sweet potato. They're a little bit drier. They're not as sweet, but I like that if I'm sitting down just eating a sweet potato right by itself. They're not as high in starches and stuff like that as the others, but I mean, I like them. I really do like them.
Can you freeze dry beef like making jerky? It will not make jerky.
It won't make jerky.
It will freeze dry the beef. Danny and I did a roast.
Oh,
And
yeah.
when you take it out, we took all the roast, we cooked the roast and then took it out, freeze dried it. And you talking about put it in your mouth, it goes
Oh,
right back to the texture of the roast when it came out of the crock pot.
Right.
It's amazing. We've done chicken that way. What other meats? I've not done a lot of pork. Pork has more fat in it, and freeze drying, you kind of want to trim the fat and stuff like that. But I've done ground beef, I've done chicken, shredded chicken, beef and shredded beef, that kind of stuff, ground beef, all that. Um, the white sweet potato makes good French fries
Oh, they make really good French fries.
because they're almost like a white potato, like a regular Irish
Now
potato.
we took the white ones and we actually stir fried them.
Oh, that's so
Oh,
good.
that was the best stir fry. We cut them up in little thin strips and stir fried them. It was awesome. I'm gonna tell you, that's the best way to eat them. Danny, did you ever find your 410 shells? Hard to find here in Arkansas. We haven't found any here. I'll be honest with you. We've had a couple of people send me some, but here, no, there are none to be found here.
Let's see.
What you so says JT West is great. Look, I love JT West's show. I mean,
Danny comes in the other day and he goes, JT finally had his wife on there.
I said,
was
yeah,
dying
I was.
laughing.
He did. He had his wife on there when he was doing the rototiller thing that he was rebuilding underneath that. I told him, I said, that's the first time I've seen her, other than their podcast that they did here a while back from the, I call it podcast. They did a live stream they did from the hotel room.
When do you fertilize your grapes and what do you use?
I fertilize my grapes in the spring, and I use chicken fertilize.
Blueberries in the freeze dryer. Now that's the one thing
The
I
one
did
thing.
not like.
Nope, we did not
I
like
freeze
them.
dried blueberries twice. I went way longer than it says to. I mean, because we're in a humid situation, I think they went 2 or 3 days, and still I did not like the blueberries. Some people love them. I do not. Blueberries is something that goes in the freezer or in jars. I've
Okay.
got a lot canned.
Prep for Eternity Homestead said, would you make any changes with your high tunnels after using it for several seasons? The only things that I say that I might, and it's not a change, it's an addition, would be that we'd go ahead and get our irrigation system set up in them. I
We
mean,
have it.
we have everything. We've had it since we built them. We just have not got all the water systems hooked up in our high tunnels yet because we are so busy with everything else.
It should have been a priority, but we just didn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, everything is there to do it. We just haven't done it.
And two, if we had our druthers, we would have got a little bit
We
wider.
would have got a wider one, yeah.
But we couldn't. Where we were putting it, 16 was all we could.
We didn't have the
put
space.
there.
Yeah, we shouldn't have it. It wasn't possible.
And probably we would do more.
Well, let me put it to you this way.
Containers than the side beds.
We would put more in containers. We would not do the raised beds down the middle anymore. We would use containers because you can do so much better job in the containers than you can in the raised beds down the middle. Now the raised beds on the outside edges are fine because the soil from the outside and the dirt from the outside water filtrates into them and does really, really good.
Plus the sun hits
the sun hits the sides better, but in the middle, they dry out really, really fast.
Yeah. All right. Did you ever make any of the spoons in your spoon carving book I sent you years ago?
Yes, I actually did, Saddle Ridge. I made some little small spoons. They were kind of small.
Thanks to your advice, I had a bumper crop of beets. Now can I freeze them?
We canned our beets when we had them. We never froze any beets. We just canned them in a vinegar solution, I think, and that was. And then Wanda didn't particularly care for them,
I just come out right. I do not like beets
She don't like them, period.
at
And I
all.
like them, but she doesn't like them.
It look, we did a dozen. Well, no, we did 7 jars, and 4 or 5 years later, we still had one or two of those jars because he wasn't eating them either. He would eat them
Journey
occasionally, but very seldom.
Journey to the Homestead said, Wanda, have you used mineral oil for egg preservation? If so, what was your thoughts? We tried glassing and all that stuff.
I don't like that stuff.
We just didn't like it. I'm just gonna be honest with you. We
I
just
have
didn't like
frozen
it.
eggs. I have took my eggs, raw eggs, and just beat them with a fork, poured them into a Ziploc bag, and froze them. That I like because I can take the frozen eggs out and use it anyway, like scrambled eggs in cakes and cornbread and whatever. I like that. That's the only way I like doing eggs except for the freeze dryer.
We did not ever. You know what I did on the cabbage leaves? Talking about what was happening on the oily stuff on the cabbage leaves. I just took them off and I fed them to the rabbits. And I
Several people have sent me emails, and I haven't had time. I open them, look at them, answer them, and I haven't had time to go the links. We've had things going on the last couple of days, but I do have the links, and we'll try to get to it and see.
let's see. I know several things went by I didn't get to see there, but oh,
Anti-beet, yes, I am.
well, beets are a superfood to be honest with you, but
But
they're
I
good
don't
for your
like
blood.
the
I
taste
mean,
of them.
Miss
Ugh.
Wanda says they just taste like dirt. I don't know how she knows what dirt tastes like, but kind
I
of
don't
makes you
know either.
wonder, don't it?
It's just
I
the
mean, when we're kids,
taste.
we eat a lot of dirt, but I mean, when you get to be an adult, you're not supposed to eat dirt.
I just could not get past when you put it in your mouth. It just has this yucky taste.
Can you freeze eggs like that in ice cube trays and
Yes.
get little cubes easier for measuring?
What I did, I took 2 eggs. I beat them up and I poured them in, what do you call them? Snack bags. And snack bags are not freezer bags, but I put 2 eggs in a snack bag, wrote 2 on it, so I knew there was 2 eggs in there. And then I took a freezer Ziploc bag and stacked them in there. I would freeze them and put them in there so they're protected in a freezer bag, and they all had 2 eggs in each one because usually a recipe will call for 2 eggs or 3 eggs. And then I would take a second Ziploc bag, a gallon, and I would do the same thing only with 3 eggs. So one of them had 2 eggs, one had 3. Now, if you just wanted 1 egg, you'd have to just do one. But most recipes I have call for 2 or 3 eggs. Danny, do all fruit trees need to be sprayed, when, and how often?
We don't spray any of our fruit trees except something like peaches and plums. We might spray the trunk with a dormant oil if we see a problem. But we do not spray any of our trees with anything. I'm just being honest with
All
you.
right, Bill Hunt said he split firewood today and was thinking about you. How are you on firewood? We got plenty of wood.
We got plenty of wood. It just ain't cut up and split yet.
Danny thought about it this week.
I thought about it, but it's been so hot here. I've been focusing on other things that I can actually work on. Like we put the new strips on our cooler door out there so we can go in and out of our cooler without the cold air coming out. We hung all that stuff up, got that done. I mean, I've been working on corrals, lots of things outside, just not cutting firewood.
Yeah, that'll come. You set up the scaffolding. Jesse up to.
Yep, Jesse helped me set up scaffolding over to cabin to do some. This is a crazy thing. We've been looking for somebody. There is nobody. I'm telling you, there is nobody who wants to work. I figured around Christmas time, I told Wanda, I said, we'll get somebody to power wash all this stuff for us around here. We don't mind paying them. They ain't nobody. Nobody wants to work.
Yeah. How long will frozen eggs last? I kept some for nearly, it was almost a year.
Like a year, I was going to say. We
But
probably
now
had
I would
some for a
say if
year.
you're going to use them, I would rotate out. We just had a lot of fresh eggs and I kept putting them in there. And when we needed them, I would take some out and I would try to make sure I use, especially in cakes and stuff, that I would use the frozen eggs instead of fresh eggs, unless you're doing like a pound cake. Now, pound cake, you want your fresh eggs if you got them.
Would I still recommend the Blue Eddy solar generators? No. I would not.
We still haven't gotten.
We still haven't gotten any information on ours. We've tried. Right now, the Rock Pal probably is one of my favorites to use. I've had zero problems out of the Rock Pal other than the cord in the back of it burned up, but that's not the, I mean, that was not anything to do with the generator, but the generator still works because I still charge it with solar.
They're saying it buffered for a while. I don't know. It's constantly buffering.
I did see the red at the bottom of it.
It's back green now, so I'm not sure.
Is there a meal I would recommend? Oh, I I'm personally waiting on one from Justin from Metcalf Mills because I don't like any of them I've ever tried. I like stone ground. Well, I've used the metal ones and I've used the flail type. I've used all that. It just doesn't do as good of a job as the stone ground. I'll just say that.
T. Prada said, if I lived closer, I'd pressure wash for you. That's it. Everybody we know is kind of off that could do a lot of things.
Let me tell you, you're right. Ms. Wanda, pull my wood splitting license over my finger. Hey, but it's getting better.
I've been threatening him.
It's a little shorter. You know, not much. It's growing back. I mean, I don't know how to. I can't twist my arms around backwards, but it's growing back. They told me I wouldn't have a thumbnail. I got a little bitty one coming back. So it's getting. I can't feel it though. That's the only thing. It's numb.
Y'all, somebody said check with your local high school kids. Y'all, I don't think I'd trust them with our pressure washer.
I wouldn't trust nobody. Look, y'all don't know these people down south here. I'm telling you.
These kids don't have a good work ethic when it comes to that kind of stuff. They might can work in a cash register and hand you a burger in a bag, but I don't know how good they're gonna be at pressure washing. Danny don't even want me to get too close to some stuff.
Did you sell the little bull or did he help with the corral? No, we ain't sold him yet. He's still hanging around here.
He's still doing his thing.
He's still doing his thing.
Danny cut up a big pumpkin to roast for freezing today. Crazy. Half the inside was normal, the other half was just like spaghetti squash.
Oh, must have got a crossbreed there.
Oh, that's crazy. I've got to do some of our Cherokee tan pumpkins. I'm going to take and freeze dry them. I did that last year. I freeze dried a lot of our Cherokee tan pumpkin. I would put them in the oven and then get them half done and then take them out and freeze dry them.
Miss Gail, it's just called dormant oil. I mean, you can get it if you just go to a place or go on Amazon and type in dormant fruit tree oil, it'll all come up. Any of them will work, to be honest with you.
TikTok says, no, do not use high school kids.
No.
Oh. Are your cranberries producing?
No.
We had a few on them.
We had a couple. Well, we had probably 8 or 10 on it, something like that.
2 or 3 of them. But I think we had them too low and they were staying too wet.
I think we overwatered them.
We thought cranberries needed a lot of water, but obviously the ones we have don't need that much water. So Danny took them out, repotted, and put them back, and it seems to be doing much better. There's a skills gap and a will gap. Nobody wants to work.
It's very sad. You're right, Dottie. That is right.
Skills and will.
Yeah.
That's it.
My new thumb looks great. I have a new thumb. I mean, the only thing about it is, I have to tell you, it won't bend no more because I kept it straight for so long. I can't bend it no more than that. And it's a lot larger in size than my other one, so it makes it a little bit frustrating.
All right, Karen wants to know, can you use frozen eggs in pancakes? Yes.
Yeah.
You can use frozen eggs in anything. I just would thaw them out. Well, when you take them out of the freezer, I learned firsthand, take them out of that package and put them frozen over in a bowl and let them thaw out in a bowl. Because if you let them thaw out in that snack bag, it's hard to get them out. They stick to everything in the snack bag. So take them out of the snack bag into a bowl and then add them to whatever.
Romans 12:18. Hey, Mr. Thumbs, have you tried Disciples Mill in DeKalb, Mississippi? The mill, Man, you don't even know.
Grits every
Look,
morning.
when I lived up there, I went to Williamsville. Williamsville is just right outside of Philadelphia there. I would buy Cyples cornmeal, Cyples grits, everything. I lived off of them up there. And we've had some subscribers come down and bring us some, and somebody's even mailed us some. I love me some Cyples
We
because
had
it's
some this
stone. We
morning.
had them yesterday morning. We had them this morning. Uh, they are good.
Gail says, I asked a teenage boy down the road what he would charge, and he said $45 an hour. She said, I'm doing it myself. I wouldn't pay them probably $10 an hour if they
No.
did something. So now my granddaughter comes and cleans, and I pay her, but she's 18. But y'all, it ain't worth sometimes. These kids think they're worth a lot. And
D.
they really
Reagan
ain't.
says, Danny, what is your favorite type of pie to eat? That would be a good old pecan pie. I love me a pecan
I love a
pie.
French coconut. Now that's one of my all-time favorites. Um, they
Let's
hope it
see.
wasn't your green thumb.
Well, that's debatable because I'm ambidextrous. I can use either hand just as well. But I guess we'll see this growing season.
Yeah. They said, I guess it's a difference in how kids are raised. Here in farm country, all the kids work hard on the farm. Well, see, we live close to two major, not major cities, but bigger
Two bigger
cities.
cities. There's no
And
farm country where we
there's
live
really
at.
no farm country here at
No.
all. Now, we have, like, the guy that we get hay from is a really good, hardworking young man. He has been and he's only in his 20s. Has his own business, does his own hay. He works from daylight till way in dark at night. He has good work ethics,
Yeah.
but there's not many that are like him. You get a few occasionally.
Yeah. Javon1 says, what do y'all do with stink bugs on collards?
Mash 'em.
We don't have stink bugs on collards here, but if we happen to find a stink bug anywhere, we mash him and we just kill him.
Jamie said that everybody loved my cranberry relish. Danny does too.
I love it. I love it.
Do
Love
you know
it.
if Cyple sells online? I don't know.
I don't know if they sell online or not. I'll be honest with you. They're there just outside of Meridian at DeKalb.
Yeah. Um, we are expected to have some snow tomorrow morning. And Barbara says she loves coconut pie too. I love the French coconut. Now, I like a good coconut pie. I love coconut anyways, but the French coconut just takes the cake. Every year, somebody would bring one French coconut cake to the church or one to a family dinner. And I would always get one piece when I'm going around the table because I ain't waiting for dessert. Somebody to eat it all.
Oh, let's see here. Yeah, we got something strange going on here. I will tell you all that. Y'all know me. I keep everything. I keep a journal for just about everything. And for the last 8 days here, we have hundreds of thousands of robins flying over about an hour before dark, headed east. I've never seen this. Now we see some robins around here pretty often, but this has been like 8 days in a row, about an hour and a half in the evening. Hundreds of thousands of robins are flying east, and it makes me wonder what kind of event's fixing to happen because we've never seen that here.
I gotta laugh at this one. This is funny now. I've heard it all. Arthur, an illustrator, said, my father got a burger from Mickey D's and the cheese was at the bottom. Then the
Bottom of the
bun,
box.
yeah, then the bun was on top. Then the meat in the top bun. They can't even build a burger and they want $15 an hour.
Oh my word!
Oh my goodness. I would have to go back in and say something. I ain't
I
lying.
would have to go back on that one.
That's just crazy.
But you know, most of them get it honest. They get it from their parents.
Somebody said, "Watch the weather come Tuesday here."
Yeah, I'm familiar. I'm already. The one thing I love about my weather people is they tell me a month in advance what we're going to be having.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something else that's weird here. All the people that I'm talking to who are hunters and they look at their game cameras and all that kind of stuff. Um,
Kayla?
They're seeing no bucks, only does and little yearling bucks with horns about that long. They're seeing no big rack bucks nowhere down here.
Wanda Weber said she made my cranberry and it was great. Patty, Southern Blessed Homestead said watching nature is great. Cracking black walnuts. What's the easiest way?
A vice. It is the only way with a vice.
And what was that we cracked? You remember somebody sent us a whole bunch of different
Oh, it
types of
was
nuts. And Dirt Patch and
Dirt
John
Patch
were here.
and John here, and they
We
showed
were
us how to,
laughing.
they showed us how to crack them.
Yeah, because we had never had them before.
Yeah, I forget which one it was.
It was a very hard type. I don't remember what it was called.
Everybody's saying they've seen a lot of robins there too.
Yeah. Let's see where we're at.
How long do pecans last in the shell? Well, if you keep them frozen, Doug, they'll last forever. But I mean, if you just got them sitting out after about 8 to 9 months after they've been harvested, they'll start getting a little bit of a rancid taste to them.
Okay.
Caprice, I don't eat no McNasties either.
We don't go out and eat stuff. But I would, if something like that, I'd have to say something. That's poor workmanship. I can't even build a burger.
I didn't think of no tip for
Oh, yeah. Oh,
man,
you got to be
thinking
thinking.
about that.
Let's see. Where are we at? There's Miss Deborah Oster. Miss Millie said, I see birds in Kansas all the time. We see these birds off and on, but it's just kind of strange that we see so many right now. Like the cold must be pushing them down fast. Like a lot of them at one time. Usually every year we see some in the front yard for a while, several days.
Do you think the recent activity in Oklahoma will trigger the Madrid? No, I really don't, because the activity in Oklahoma is more likely going to run up southwestern Missouri and go up through central Missouri and come back down to the southeastern side of Missouri and then head across the Mississippi River that way. I don't know if it'll actually affect the Madrid that much because the plate, the way I understand it, is just not running in quite that direction.
They said they did complain about the burger, and all they did was send him a coupon identical to the one in the newspaper the same day. Buy one, get one. Basically, they did nothing.
Don't eat there no more. Don't blame you.
We're fixing to be 24 on Tuesday night.
Yeah, so we don't have any cold weather coming for another week down here. Now, when I say cold, I mean we have no freezing temperatures for a long time. But what do you think about the animals walking in circles? Is it biblical? I don't think it's biblical. I think what it is there's actually a couple of things that it is not. It's not that disease that affects their brain. I can tell you that because of other traits, because I've dealt with animals my whole life. I'm very familiar with that. I could go into some things that I probably shouldn't on here right now, but it has to deal with the number 13 and all this kind of stuff, and the seed of Satan, the 13th century. There's lots of things to do with the number 13 that's involved in that, and I can't really talk about it on YouTube.
All right, you recommended high tunnel greenhouse. I went to Grower Solution. Are you calling high side walls high tunnels? Yes.
Yes.
The regular ones are like.
Yeah, John, a high side wall, which is 7.5 to 8 feet high. Depends on how deep you drive the pipes in the ground. The pipes are 10 feet long. Yes, those are the ones I'm talking about, because you can get the heat up high enough in the air. And when I say heat, trust me, guys, there's more heat coming than you really want to think about in the future. I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, over on Freesteading, we gave away book number 3 of Foxfire this week, and the winner was Papa Farmer, I think, and he's already got it. He emailed me today and said he got it. I have book number 4 of the Foxfire books. This will be the last of the Foxfire books we're giving away. I will try to get it up tomorrow. So if you're on Freesteading, and while I'm saying something about Freesteading, the app is out. Go join Freesteading, guys. Y'all will. It might be in the future your way to contact people and get in touch with people and enjoy some fellowship. So I'm just saying, but in the library over at Freesteading, I will have Foxfire book number 4 up maybe tomorrow, and we will announce a winner later in the week. Oh, and the art contest.
Art contest. I think so. You need to
Yeah. Go ahead. I gotta have some water.
Yeah, you make sure you the art contest. You got to get them in this week in order for them to be judged. If your kids from over on Freesteading, if you want to get that in there, get it in, get it sent to Spags Unfiltered over there.
We will be giving our winner a $50 gift certificate, and then they're gonna get some Freesteading stuff, and then their picture will go in our cabin.
Yeah.
For Christmas.
Susie Q says my dog's been walking in circles under my dining room table this past week. He has never done that before. Wow. Well, I will say this. When you start tampering with frequencies in the atmosphere, which they're doing, I can't go into that either, but it does affect both people and animals. Danny, what do you think of these EMP protection devices? Psalms 91, I have one on every piece of equipment I have, plus my home, my shop, my cabin, my generators.
And we
except
are doing 2
I
more.
have 2 new ones coming. I just ordered 2 micro, or what do you call them, micro or mini? The little ones.
Micro?
I think they were called micro ones. They're just little.
We're doing a video this week.
Yeah.
Showing you how to install them on. We have
2 different. We have a Ranger and a Kubota side by side. We're going to be installing because the only 2 things we have that don't have them. And I called and ordered them from the company for us to have for them. So we're going to be showing 2 different. Well, it'll be a video basically on how to install both of them. Because they protect against not only EMP, but they protect against lightning. Lightning is the #1. People go, yeah, but our vehicles don't ever get struck by lightning. That's not true. I saw a car get struck in the middle of the highway, blew all 4 tires out right in front of where I was standing.
And have y'all watched these storms? Like, I know Ryan Hall does this. He's the weather guy, Ryan Hall. He shows where the lightning striking in areas, thousands of lightning strikes. And yeah. I'm like, somebody's got to get struck somewhere with this. I mean, it's not hitting people maybe, but something gets hit, whether it's a tree or a rock or the ground or a house, something's got to get hit. So this protects houses and cars from that, and that's our biggest thing. So we do have an EMP shield
we have it on everything.
Link in our description.
Yes, we have a link in our description. Saves you, what is it, about $50 on buying one?
I think
it's
and
around $50.
And they're going to be running a sale on the micros.
Yeah.
They're smaller so that they'll work in a different small place. Where the others were about this size, this one's small.
Yeah, that was my comment to the company whenever I talked to them. I said, the other ones are so big. Wanda's car, I had problem finding a place under the hood to put this thing. I had to drill a hole under the car up under to be able to put this thing. And they told me that they were working on the micro ones, so we've been holding off. And I told them, I said, when you get those, let me know, and I'll order 2 of them. And so
they should be here Monday.
They should be here the first of the week, maybe.
So we're going to be doing a video showing us installing them on those 2 things. And Miss Gail, like she said, I think she said she's 70. She messaged me and she put hers on by herself because she watched me on Crazy Days put one on.
Yes.
And she watched Danny and she did it herself. They're that easy to install.
2023, yeah, the year of Fubar.
I don't know.
Whatever that means.
How long will dry roasted peanuts keep? A couple of years, maybe. I don't know. It's according to how you package them.
Yeah, I think so.
If you got them in those containers, I'd say maybe a couple of years because any type of nut, I wouldn't keep more than a couple of years.
Yeah.
All right. Have you tried the new FDA approved lab meat yet?
No.
All right.
No.
You gonna send us some? I'm sure Jared could get that to us.
I want to ask a question right quick, and I want y'all to give. This is a poll. I'm gonna ask a poll right now.
And y'all get your fingers ready.
No, I'm gonna ask a poll here. I just want your opinion. I want an honest opinion. Give me an honest opinion on it now. I have ties inside the USDA. Okay, I know of many, many doctors and everybody around me in different towns and stuff that use the USDA for their fencing on their property. They get high tunnels with them, and these people have money, okay? But they say, why should I pay for my fences and all around my farm when I can get the United States Department of Agriculture to do it? And this is rich people. So this is the question. If I go to my contacts inside the FDA and sit down with them and do a very in-depth talk about just what the USDA can and will do to help homesteaders and farmers, what kind of programs are available to help people have high tunnels, get fences, you can actually get cattle, it's all kinds of things you can do. Would you be interested if I did that video? If I went into their office and sat down with them and had the top guy sit down with me and tell me all that the FDA has to USDA has to offer, would that be a video you wanted to see? That's all I want to know.
Yeah. Same name says that Ben DeNoon has offer. Yeah, but y'all order from us. Just saying.
Yes, please order from we get a $50 discount on ours.
Some are saying yes. Some are saying don't do it. Yes, yes. Because the deal is
the USDA is not bad people, okay?
But
it's the government offices that's bad. There's lots of good programs through the USDA.
The deal is we didn't want to get tied up with the government, so we bought our own high tunnels. But some people cannot afford fencing or high tunnels. They even have loans for farms.
That's about 99% of them says yes.
You can. The farm one was the one I thought, because we got a email on that one.
Yeah.
If you could go in and you could get a loan at a really cheap rate to get your farm, would you be interested? I know it's government, but the way I look at it, you're getting a loan from a bank, which is basically, to me,
they're all the same. I'm gonna tell you.
So would it be feasible to do this, to let you know the truth about what they expect?
Yeah,
because if they expect something stupid, he's going to tell you what they expect, and you can say, no, I would not do that ever. But some of you are not able to afford some things, and some of you are so.
I mean, let's put it this way. No, I don't trust the government, even though I do. I've been with the USDA since the late 80s, okay? But I can tell you, I know a lot of people around me here who've gotten things through the USDA, and if you just do the things that they ask for a short period of years, it belongs to you afterwards. You know, these doctors and lawyers and stuff like that use that program to fence their properties and all with, and they get high tunnels. I've got friends that's got high tunnels and stuff through the NRCS program. Green Family Network got theirs through it. I mean, the YouTube channels. The Aldermans got theirs through it. I mean, there's Daniel Arms, and lots of people.
Family. They all went through this, and y'all watch them on YouTube and stuff. They went through the USDA to get it. So. Yep. There's people out there, lots and lots of people that get this. Danny and I just chose to pay for our own because, if you can, you can.
My thought is this. Hear it straight from the horse's mouth, because I have connections. I can get inside there and I can talk to them, and they are I'm sure they'll be more than welcome to me to just sit up in their office with them, set the cameras up, and we'll just do a 2 or 3 part series of different questions about what the USDA expects. The card they send it out in the mail, is it a felony not to fill it out? Is it legal? Is it illegal? I mean, I'll ask them
questions about that too.
Hey, you can get ponds through the USDA. You can get all this kind of stuff. And I think, you
But we
know,
would like to know, I mean, even for us, because we've always been anti, against
I'm
all of
anti,
it.
I'm anti-government. I'll just say that.
We've always been very against it. Not saying we're getting anything, but when he was given the opportunity to throw it out there and say, this is what's available, wouldn't you like to know truly what's available? And somebody said, well, just go online and look. Well, you can.
You can, but there's so much stuff that gets misinterpreted. But if I have it where you hear it from the top guy's mouth, I mean, at least it will, you'll know the truth,
Like,
okay?
somebody says, like, what's the catch? That's what we're getting at.
That's what I'm getting at. I will ask them, what is the catch to these programs?
Yeah, what are the terms, and is there something that people need to be watching for? And is it something that's a deal breaker? We would go in with that thought.
And I'm like Deborah Oster. She said, we got money for our prescribed burns. The government already knows everything about you anyway. I mean, it's not like you're hiding anything.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. There's all kinds of programs that nobody even knows about. So we didn't know. And yeah, the surveys and stuff, we even asked that question.
I asked him that question the other day. He said, yes, it is a several $1,000s fine not to fill them out if you don't do it and you file for something on your income taxes and you did not do the survey. He said the government can track you down if they want to. He said, I've never heard of them doing it. Yeah. He said, but it is in the paperwork that they can do it. Because I was calling about that myself.
Yeah.
And he said, and I got to talking to him, and he said, look, he said, come to my office. And he said, we'll just do whatever you want to do, And I said, okay. But I said, let me ask my subscribers first.
Yeah, because you would rather know what's going on than trust anybody that just throws up a video spouting something that hasn't really sat down with somebody and talked to them. Because I can go online and I might interpret what it says there one way, and Danny might go read it, and he said, that's not what it says. This is what it says. So we'll see. We're not sure.
I mean, I'm just doing it for y'all. I'm not doing it for me, okay?
Yeah, because I had told him no.
Wanda told me no, and I said, well, we might have a lot of subscribers who might need some fencing and they can't afford it, or they might want a high tunnel and they can't afford it. I mean, there's just lots of ways that you can make this happen.
Well, what really set it off, Danny said he knew doctors, and we talked to a doctor.
We did. We talked to one doctor who was fencing his whole place. He said, I just use the USDA. He said, I'm not paying for fencing I don't have to pay for.
And he fenced his whole place. Yeah. And he had the money to do it. And I'm thinking, how wrong is that? But we know people that have done it, and they don't think anything of it. So people that don't have money, I would think, why not?
Yeah, I mean, the survey thing is done online. You actually don't fill nothing out on no paper. You got to go online to the USDA.gov website, fill it out, and guys, you're not telling them nothing they don't know.
Why didn't we do the high tunnel program? Because
we had the money to pay for ours, and we figured why not let somebody else who don't have the money through the program. If I went and got a high tunnel, I took somebody else's money or somebody else's ability to have something when I could have paid for it myself. And that's why I got aggravated with the doctor when he said, well, I just let them. I said, dude, you got the money, man. Why not let somebody who can't afford to get fencing get it? He's like, well, it's just free money. I'm going to take it if I can get it. He said, that's why rich people are rich.
Yeah. And our thing was, I do know on the high tunnels, it's 3 or 5 years before you own it. And we were thinking, okay, we want to own ours now.
Yeah.
But some people, like if we went and got a loan, we would have been paying on it 3 to 5 years to pay it off.
And it wouldn't have been ours anyway.
So then it's the same principle.
Yeah.
It's according to whether you look at it that way.
They said they have lots of programs on honeybees, drought relief for even drought for the bees. He was telling me. He said,
crops. If your crops,
if you have a crop failure because of a drought, But he told me, he says, now there is a catch. He said you don't have to have insurance to get money. He said, but the catch is you have to buy insurance afterwards. Is the catch? Because I asked him. I said, I was like, man, is there a catch to this? And he said, well, technically, yes. He was honest with me. He said, you have to buy insurance afterwards or you can't get it.
Yeah. So see, that's what we're saying about catches, because you may go in there and not think about what they're saying,
Right.
and they give you money, and then afterward they say, okay, now you got to do this. And you're going, but you didn't say that ahead of time. Well, it was in the paperwork and you didn't read the fine print.
Right.
So that's where they get you. And we're hoping to ask the intricate questions so we
Yeah.
get to the bottom of things.
Yeah. So, I mean, guys, I've done this for many, many, many years and I've got contacts. And if y'all, like I said, if y'all like it, I'll do it. I'll do it for you.
Show Kayla what the rest of your shirt says.
Believe in Jesus, the Second Amendment, and fried fish.
So, Kayla, we're looking forward to a visit sometime in the
Yeah, I was expecting to already see y'all before
near
now.
future. Your land has to meet criteria and stuff like that. Yeah.
I'll put it to you this way. After Hurricane George came through our place, this has been 25 years ago, probably longer than that. It blowed down trees across my fences and stuff like that, tore up tons of stuff here. I went through the USDA, which I was already in. They paid for all my fencing. They paid for my repairs. They bought me chainsaws. They done all kinds of stuff, and I didn't owe them one dime. And I've never, you know, Hurricane Katrina, got money, got things fixed through Hurricane Katrina.
All right, somebody's asking why would they pay for fencing? Do you have to have animals? Wasn't that one of the things you remembered them saying?
Yes, when it comes to fencing, you had to tell them what kind of animals you were going to get because that depended on the kind of fencing you could get. If you wanted cattle, they would give you barbed wire fencing. If you wanted goats and sheep, then you could get woven wire fencing. And I know lots of people that told them they had goats and sheep and they put up fencing and put cows in there and bought a couple of goats and throwed in there with them and just let the goats ramble around. Well, they didn't care if they lived or died because that was part of the deal, you know. So you can manipulate things just as well as they can manipulate things, I suppose.
Yeah. Back to Basics says a ton of stuff now has bioengineered ingredients. Y'all pay attention to
Yes.
the
Yes.
ingredients. It is now, instead of GMO or something like that, it's called bioengineered.
Yeah.
I have seen that on candy bars lately.
Yeah, they've changed. Instead of saying genetically modified, it's bioengineered.
JJ, I have not used a program pressure cooker. I tried one. I think I got sent one, and I didn't like it. Everybody's been trying to talk me into getting a Instapot thing, and y'all, I don't know. I've got enough junk that I'm trying to get rid of. I don't know that I want to buy more. Moat Hill says they're asking for prayers for their body. They've been sick almost 2 weeks. Yeah, that's Frankie. I remember you telling me.
She was telling me about that.
Yeah. Vicky says, I want to
say something about the pies in the grocery store, but the tube won't let me. Really?
It's according to what she's wanting to say that they won't let
I
her.
guess it's probably true, too. Now, please understand, we have certain words on our computer that we've had banned. Okay? So if one of those words pops up in it, it won't let you say it.
Yeah, if it's something that we have blocked, yeah, I can see why YouTube. It's not necessarily YouTube. Well, I guess it is.
It could be YouTube, yeah.
But we get to choose words that we block.
Yeah.
So, Psalm says the U.S. is 100 trillion in debt.
That's true. That's true. We are.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Prayers for my sister that she has cancer.
She's bedridden now. Look at the Oreo cookies.
Yeah.
It says bioengineer.
I picked up a candy bar and it had it on it. I remember seeing that this past week, and I'm like, because I always read labels, and I walked by and I picked one up and looked at it, and I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. Amy is right. Anything with soy in it's going to have that label on it. Or corn too. Corn or soy.
Auntie M says prayers for her mom, for her heart. Lots of people love their pressure
Digital,
canning.
yeah.
Y'all, I've got enough to deal with. I don't need anything new. Um, I've about come to the conclusion all the new stuff, it can be good, but it can be time consuming. And I'm used to old school what I do. And until I need something new, I've come to the conclusion I ain't buying nothing else right now. Oh. I'm like Carolyn. I like my slow cooker. I've tried it wasn't an Instapot. I just got a cheaper version, but I'd rather throw mine in the slow cooker and walk off, and I don't have to worry about pressure, it being under pressure. I'm not in that big a hurry.
Almost any candy has that now. Simpler times.
Yeah.
How long will pickled eggs last once canned? I don't.
I don't eat them, so I
We
don't
don't
know.
eat pickled eggs. We love them, but they don't
I
love us.
I don't like them at all.
Some things, boy, they tear us up. Woo.
I don't eat pickled eggs, so I wouldn't know. Never have. Most chocolate has it. Yeah, I think so. Um, let's see, what time is it? I think we went past our
Oh, yeah,
time.
we went 10 minutes over our time here.
We have, and I wasn't even paying any attention. Um, so
Danny, have you given any thought to the money wasted on fine church buildings? Coming from a pastor here, believe there is a better way. Brother, let me tell you something. Brother Donnie, let me tell you something. That's where I believe the church of Laodicea comes in. Because our eyes are on the things of this world, they're not on the things of the Lord. The first church was actually held in the people's houses, and I know Brother Donnie knows this. It's called the Way. And honestly, I believe until we get back to that, we are not going to actually realize where the truth lies at. Because as long as our eyes and our finances is going to finance a big old fine building with big old fine pews and big old fine stuff in it, and all kind of programs to send people all over the world to have family vacations and call it ministries and missions and all that kind of stuff, wasting God's money. I'm sorry, I just don't see it. I may be wrong, but I don't see it. I'm sorry.
Donnie says, "Amen."
I,
You gonna start preaching?
I could. I could.
Brother Donnie's gonna come back, and y'all gonna do a preaching session, huh?
You ain't joking. I can get down on that.
Am I going to make a Christmas candy video? Probably not. Because if I make Christmas candy, I will have to eat it. I am dependent on Miss Lippy, who has been making several Christmas candy videos. Y'all go watch her, because she's going to send them to me, and y'all might can watch me on Crazy Days eat some divinity before long. And I didn't make it. I've never made divinity in my life that it turned out right.
I've eaten so
I
much
love
of
that
stuff.
stuff, so I'm waiting on Miss Lippy to send me a care package.
Yeah.
I know that's sorry, but it can be done, because I sent her some oranges and some satsumas and stuff. She got a care package, so she's gonna send one back, right? Oh,
Oh man.
I'm gonna be making candy. I made him some white chocolate covered rice checks, and I'm having to hide them from him to keep him from eating all of them right now. He gets little snack packs.
I'm telling you.
That's my candy. That's what he takes.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about the Twitter files?
I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious that Elon Musk is making public all the things that was literally held in secret that the media should have put out there and Twitter should have put out there. It just, I think it's funny.
Yeah. My candy corn collection, if you want to really see a good close up, 2 or 3 years ago, I did a video, obsession I forgot how, collection or obsession or something. I forgot anyways, but it's candy corn over on Crazy Days, and it shows all the different candy corns up close. It's really a good video.
Oh,
Well, we got to do our prayer, and then while you're praying, maybe God will give you a tip. Y'all, he forgot. He
I
really
actually
hadn't even
forgot
thought
tonight because
about it.
we've had company all day, and I was just like, normally I spend time thinking about it, and and all, and we've had company all day, so
Miss Lippy, put your page, your whatever.
I could tell y'all a lot of stuff, but
Miss
you'd
Lippy's
think I
got
was
it.
totally nuts.
Yeah, they want Miss Lippy's website and her channel. And Miss Lippy, poke it up. She's one of our moderators, so just be looking. And yes, her brittle looked fine, and they better be some brittle over in that box that's coming this week. Just saying. I ain't making brittle either. Danny's like this woman.
This woman is like losing it, I'm gonna tell you. Oh
I
man,
love having good friends that send good stuff.
I hear you, I hear you. Anyway, let's get. Father, we're so thankful tonight, Lord. It's so good to have a good live stream, Father, and we love you and we appreciate you for just watching after us and taking care of us. Sometimes our ignorance just gets in the way, Father, and I think you sit up there in heaven lots of times and just get a good, you get a good laugh out of us, and that's okay. You created us, you know how we are, and I think sometimes you made us certain ways just so you could get a good chuckle out of us, and we love you for that, Father. And Lord, we got a lot of people here tonight. Some's been talking about some cancer and different things that they're having problems with. I actually saw a praise report. One was saying that their son had some good reports on the leukemia or whoever it was. I just remember seeing it, and I was praising the Lord the whole time we were talking for that one thing I saw pop through in the chat there, Lord. And thank you for that. Thank you for answered prayer. Thank you for being there for us when we need you and when we call on you. And what I always pray, Father, is just, Lord, we just want your will for our life. Now, sometimes your will don't always go along with our will, but we have to understand that just like you told Job when he was complaining, we weren't there when you hung the four corners of the earth, and we ain't there when the donkeys go to braying in the hills out there giving birth. You're there, but we aren't. And Father, we have to realize that sometimes it's kind of like today when I was talking to Jesse. And we were talking about Noah's Ark and how that Noah floated around out there for 150 days and he just didn't know if the Lord was doing anything, but for days on end, the water was going down underneath him. God was taking care of things underneath him and he had no clue until he come to a complete stop. It's the unseen things in our life sometimes that we don't understand that God's even doing anything, but yet the whole time He's doing things even though we can't see the water receding underneath us. And Father, help us to have eyes to see and ears to hear. May we have healing for those that ask for healing, Lord, whether it's physical, spiritual, financial, emotional, Lord, whatever it is. I pray for healing for us, Lord. Father, as we move into these uncertain days ahead, I pray that you take fear from the lives of your people, Father, because you said you've not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and of a sound mind. And that's what I pray on everyone here tonight, Lord, that when these times come upon us, we will not be afraid, Lord, but that we will stand in the gap for you and that we'll have no fear, Father, and that our hearts will not fail us like you said men's will in the latter days. So, Lord, go with us through the remainder of the night. And may every word that proceeds out of our mouth honor and glorify you. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen. Oh, man. Ah, let me see here.
All right. You got anything? No.
Well, gosh, I have to be careful about what I say. Guys, this year is going to be, I think I've nailed it every year so far. I don't think I've missed a year. Um, this year, according to everything that I'm able to find out, is going to be the year for fire. Now, I want you to think about that. This year is going to be the year for fire. America is going to see, or the United States is going to see more fire this year than they've seen in the past. And I know that may sound crazy and it may sound unreal, but it's going to be brought on by a lot of different things. I'm not going to go into all the different scenarios that's going to bring it up, but after sitting through some things the other night that I sat through, I realized, and the Lord spoke to me and told me, said, 2023 will be the year of fire. I told you 2022 would be the year of death, and it has been the year of death. So 2023 will be the year of fire, and I might even want to add something else to that, the year of fire and famine. I believe 2024 is where I had famine at, but I believe we're going to actually be starting to see famine in 2023 also. But most likely it's going to be more so fire than anything else. And I've given y'all a list of states on several of the videos to be conscious about. There's some events that's already scheduled to more than likely take place in those states. Just be aware of it. And when it happens, don't be afraid. The one thing that I try to tell people, if these things, which they are ordered by the Lord, and you belong to God, then you have nothing to be afraid of. If you belong to the Lord, and the Lord has ordered these events, then He's going to take care of you. And that's the way we look at it here. We don't panic about what's going to happen. There's going to be water events this year. There's going to be fire events this year. I mean, guys, there's going to be famine this year. These three things I know, according to all scientific data and scriptural things, we're going to face fire, water, and all that this year. So don't let it bother you. Please do not let it bother you. I've given you all the states. I told you Washington State, told you California, I told you Texas, I told you Southwest Missouri, Southeast Missouri, Kentucky, Western Appalachia, New York, Rhode Island, Northern Mississippi, to be honest with you, could also be in a part of this. So guys, and I also told y'all I was going to try to get a map, and I haven't quite got that map ready yet. I may try to get you a map of something I wanted to show you, if I can possibly do it.
And explanations. We'll just have to see.
We'll have to see. Yeah.
We're still a lot going on right now with us, and we're trying to finish projects. We've got less than 3 weeks till a new year, guys. We're going to be starting 2023.
Yeah.
And Danny and I started YouTube in
2015.
Yeah, December 2015.
Yep.
So our anniversary is like next week, one day next week, when we put our first YouTube video up. And that's been, what?
8 years ago.
8 years?
Yep.
It's a long time. A long time.
Yeah.
So, I'm not planning any special anything, but it is our YouTube anniversary.
Yeah.
We're also going to be trying to finish projects this year. And maybe we'll talk about that in a video in the next week or so, about the things that we've been trying to finish and trying to fix up, and maybe get around to what's new for next year.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to draw a map if I can of what I know.
The vision you have.
Well, the thing that I know about the United States. I'm gonna try to draw a map. Florida, I forgot Florida's gonna be a big issue too. I forgot about that. So guys, just be aware of the water issue that's coming. Now there are some things that's going to start as early as January. People have been sending me videos of their house cameras catching burning asteroids flying through the sky. And there seems to be an awful lot of that going on. And according to science right now, and what's going on in the outer rim of our galaxies right here, we're going to see a lot of debris fields from some planetary systems that's going to be coming into our system, that's going to be leaving some trails of debris through here, which we could see a lot of asteroids and stuff like that actually making contact with the Earth. Now, the planets themselves, I don't think they're going to actually, none of them are going to hit the Earth or nothing like that. But there is a magnetic pull that's taking place, because right now Mars is getting hot, Venus is getting hot, Saturn's getting hot, Uranus is getting hot, and if all these other planets are overheating out there, it's because there's a pull from a binary system out there. And the Earth is no different. The Earth will begin to heat up also in the very near future. So just be prepared. I was actually told that at some point on the Earth, I wasn't told where on the Earth, but I was just told at some point on the Earth the temperatures could get up to 150 degrees. So
That's a little warm.
That's pretty hot. I mean that's unbearable.
Close to that spot, that's unbearable. But we got up to what, 126?
We got to 126 here on the heat index. We got to 126.
Heat index, and that's pretty crazy. So I know I stay inside.
Well, Wanda and I took some pictures of the moon 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
We actually saw a planet in front of the moon, so we took a picture of that. We have that.
I believe it was Mars.
Yeah, I believe it was Mars is what we found out after doing the research on it. It was in front of the moon last night. 2 weeks ago.
When I looked out, it looked like it had a blue ring around it. And I hollered at him. I said, come look at the moon. I said, it looks like it has a blue ring around it. By the time he got out there, it had done faded enough that it was not as blue. But I swear, when you're looking at something, it'll a total blue ring around it. And then I said, but look at the little thing by it. And so it had a little, small thing down below it. And I took pictures of it, but found out later I think it was Mars.
Yeah.
So
it's there is quite a bit of stuff that's going to be beginning to happen in 2023. I can't sit here and go through everything, guys. I'd love to, but I just can't. YouTube would snatch me down if I saw.
There's some things that you can allude to, and there's some things you just have to walk away from because they're getting so crazy. But he is going to do a Patreon video maybe tomorrow that I can put up, and I don't know what porch time is going to be.
I have no idea what porch time is right now.
And to be honest with y'all, I really have no videos for this next week yet either. So whatever we come up with tomorrow's whatever y'all get. I'm sorry. Things just have not been in YouTube mode every day this week.
Well, guys, anything that I tell y'all is in the Bible. Okay? So, I mean, actually a pole flip is actually in the Bible. It's in Isaiah. There's different things that's in the Bible, and people they do not or will not hear it because they've been indoctrinated by this system that we've been under for the last 1,000 years here on the earth. And it's just, all they know is what the churches told them. And the churches has not told people the truth. I hate to say that.
They have
agendas.
Truth.
They give partial truths out. They have not told people the entire truth that's in the scriptures. And they hide things. They don't talk about certain parts of the Bible.
And to be honest, it could be people's too, because we don't study like we should. How many of you actually take the Bible, study, and research for yourselves? Now, I know there's lots of you do.
Lots of people do.
But the average American or any other person around, anywhere around the world does not do the studying. They walk into a church, they expect that man to tell them what they need to know, and they leave.
Yeah.
And if the man gets up there and spouts, so says me, and he doesn't give you a good biblical background, then you following his doctrine, not
Yeah.
what the Bible says. Because I was raised under a lot of different preachings, and I grew up thinking that they were telling me exactly the truth, and then when I got saved and I started reading the Bible myself, I'm like, hey, wait, they didn't tell me about this, and they didn't talk about that. And I was shocked how much was in the Bible that I'd never heard, even though I was in church all my life. So it can be crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got to go.
Yeah, we got to get out of here, guys. Thank y'all.
And y'all don't forget, Freesteading has the app. Go check it out. Y'all will be amazed. And we had somebody say that they couldn't get in after downloading the app. If you have trouble, info@freesteading.com. Email them. Tell them what your problem is and let them help you fix it if you have an issue.
Spec says, I've seen the pole shift and plasma sheet mentioned in the mainstream media this week. Details are coming out. Articles actually on Google Play.
Wow.
I'm telling you guys, there's things coming they're not going to be able to hide anymore. I mean, there's some things in the Antarctica that's coming out that they're not going to be able to hide it. I mean, these creatures coming out from the Antarctica, they're going to be found all around the shores of the United States. There's just things they cannot keep hiding much longer. We have a huge base in the Antarctic down there. They're not going to be able to hide what it's doing there much longer. I mean, I got to quit. I'm going to get in trouble.
No, we love y'all.
Yep.
Don't forget Freesteading. Don't forget the art contest. Got kids? Send it in.
Yeah. Good night, guys.
Bye, guys.
Start here.